Let me quickly ask you something before you leave, right?
As in,
Can
you want to put me on the spot?
Yes, I want to put you on the spot.
My battery is low.
That's fine. Answer me before it dies.
Okay. All right, sweet.
Last week on Mistakes Men Make, the conversations, one of the things that I said was that it's not true that women don't like um no, I dealt with guys who are being nice. I said, don't, if you're too nice, you're going to be taken advantage of, right? You have to
Okay.
open your eyes to know who likes you. And it's not by being nice, right? Actually, that's what I said. It's not by being nice or kind or patient. That is no
Okay.
guarantee. That's not going to keep a relationship. Now, have you heard people saying that women don't like nice guys? What is your take on that?
Well, the truth of the matter is this. I must, let's be practical.
Mm-hmm.
So, here is a guy that supports his wife in the kitchen every time.
Mm-hmm.
Once he comes back from work, he goes to the kitchen, cook for the wife, or support the wife whenever she's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then, do you know that the wife will no longer see it as a privilege? She sees it, she's going to see it as the right. I mean, even when the guy is tired, the woman will be annoyed.
Yes, because he's been doing it, right?
Yes. Now look at the another scenario. The guy that never goes to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Just one day, he decides to cook. You will see the joy.
Yes.
The respect, the adoration in the face of the woman. What am I trying to say? Everyday guy is never welcome in people's life. So everyday guy is never cherished. So being a misaligned guy does not work. It will never work. It has never worked. Let's go in the line of scripture. At some point, the Bible said Jesus was hungry and he cursed a tree. Hunger can cause anything. It shows that Jesus has the emotional part that makes him. Jesus wasn't a weak person because he called himself a lamb. He also called himself a lion. Yeah. So there must be a lion part of man and there must be a lamb part of man. The lamb comes in when the woman is in distress.
That's right.
The lamb comes in when the woman is confused. The lamb comes in when a woman needs protection. You do that. I mean, the lamb comes in, and the lion comes in when a woman needs protection. The lion comes in when there must be direction, where you must put your foot on the ground and say, this is what we are going to do, and this is the way. You must have the double thing in you. If you don't have that, my God, it's a no-no.
My gosh, I am so glad that you ended like that. I'm so proud of you. Because when you said in the beginning, I was already shaking my head in my mind, but now you ended it, you balanced it. Balance is key, right?
Balance is the signature of God.
That is it. That is it. Thank you so much for that contribution because I was already thinking I'm just going to let him end. And then, hi there, S&R Cooking Vlogs. Thank you for joining. And then I will take it from there. I want and I hope that more guys will understand this. There is nothing wrong with being good and nice. You just have to make sure that things are balanced. I will delve more into that in the conversation after you leave me because I don't want to hold you to ransom. Are you with your dogs? Are you with your dogs? Yes. So now you're talking about subscribing. But do you know what this conversation is about? SNR, can you let me know? Hi, I see you. Hello on the phone. Hello? SNR, let me know what this conversation is about, please. I see you. Thank you for coming on. But I need to be sure that you know what the conversation is about. Otherwise, we're going to hurt ourselves more than help ourselves.
Hello, Karen. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll make it count. We talk later. Can I sign out?
Yes. Thank you very much. Bless up. Okay. Bye-bye. Right. I have on my fake glasses because if you can even see behind the lenses, my eyes are kind of red. And so I thought I must do this live today. I'm not going to come on here with with red eyes. Let me do some kind of disguise, but I have to do this live. And so here I am. Now, you heard that first thing because guys talk about, I hear a lot of guys saying that women don't like nice guys. And because of that, you see some people who are naturally nice just displaying toughness and aggression and just being not nice. I even said it 2 weeks ago on a live. Somebody sent me a message and it was very rude. And I understood where he was. I understood his message. His message was trying to exert to show me that he's in control and he's not a nice guy. But you see, when you do that, you just turn people off. I haven't opened that message. I'm not going to respond to it because I cannot respond to rudeness, right? So it's not by being rude. You still have to be civilized. We need to find a balance. It's not going to be, when we were children, we thought like children. When we were kids, we thought like kids. But now that we're adults, unfortunately, we don't just use a hammer, knock things to the left and to the right, and just make things black and white. We must find balance. And finding balance is what a lot of human beings find difficult. And that is the bane, that is the reason that we have problems. To find a balance. But people want to make it easy by choosing the extreme left or the extreme right, and it's just not going to work. Because when you do that, you're going to tip things to one side. Something else is going to be suffering. If you come into a relationship with a woman and you're not being nice because you don't want to be a nice guy, you're being nasty to her because you think that that's what's going to keep her, because you hear that women don't like nice guys. Think about this. Naturally, there is no one who likes people being nasty to them. Those guys that you see getting along with women who seem to be all over them because they're not nice to them. There are two things going on here. Those guys are with women who are not balanced themselves, who are not healthy, because no sane person wants to be treated carelessly and will stay there. Therefore, none of those two people will be happy. The man himself is not nice. Nobody naturally is going to like that. So the woman will not be enjoying it. And if she thinks that she likes it, that means she's not balanced. And a person who isn't balanced isn't going to give you what you want in a partner. Therefore, at the end of the day, those relationships just remain volatile. And that is all that they have. They have a relationship that is always rocky, that cannot work. And when things come up in your life, such a woman isn't going to make sensible decisions. And so every time that she's doing things, you're not going to have respect for her because her decisions are really not balanced decisions. So it means that you end up with somebody who you still will not be happy with. Therefore, that is why you also see that those men have those women, but they will always be outside running around looking for what they actually want outside. They cannot have satisfaction with that woman. And that woman cannot have peace because the man is busy running around. So we have to bring our brains and our senses home, carry them along with us in our relationships. We have to find balance. Balance is what is important. Dealing with human beings is, the bottom line is that humans are complex creatures, right? So you always have to adapt to the situation that you find yourself in. You have to take your time, watch the person that you're dealing with, watch what is happening in the relationship, and then figure out how to navigate it. As long as you care about that person and that person cares about you, that's all that matters. And then you're able to both put heads together and figure out any hurdles that you need to jump over together. But when you're thinking that one person needs to be ahead of the other or dominate over the other, you already changed the balance and objectivity in that relationship. And so that's why you have problems, right? So it's not about not being nice. You just heard that gentleman, he talked about balance. When he started the story that he told, in case you go back and listen to it, about a man who is always helping, that's itself. When he was saying that, I was shaking my head in my mind, but I'm happy that he ended it the way he ended it, because there's nothing wrong with always helping. But you see, when you're doing that, you need to also be watching the person that you're doing it for. You need to be checking their attitude to it. If I'm doing something for you, you need to be grateful that I'm doing it for you. And also, I need to see you returning, reciprocating my doing things for you and being good to you. The moment that I allow my efforts to be going unnoticed and unreciprocated, right there, I am messing up the relationship. I am not even just messing up things for myself, I am messing up the relationship for both of us. And then somebody will say, you can't be checking things like that if you care. Just do things because you want to. No, you can't. Yes, you just do things because you want to do things for a person. That is fine. All well and good. You're not supposed to be checking and doing it for that. But if you're in a relationship with someone, you cannot be the only person who cares about the well-being of the other one or the other person. And then the other person doesn't show any kind of care for your well-being and you keep on doing it, you are not doing them a favor and you're not doing yourself a favor. You are killing that relationship. There must be balance. Because imagine if you had two children and you're watching your two children and one of them is always taking advantage of the other, one of them is always doing things, A is always doing things for B, and B doesn't do things back for A. You know that that is wrong, it is unnatural, and that is someone taking advantage of the other. So why is it any different when it comes to relationships? If you're in the office, this is actually, let me use this. In the office, say you are a manager and you're managing a project and you have team members on that project. It just will not work if let's say you only have two team members, it's a two-man project. It just will not work if only one person is the one who does all the work on that project. Let me take a picture so that I don't forget. SNR vlogs. You still didn't tell me what this live is about. Let me go and see. I'm sure. See if there's any, that I'm not missing any message. And I will find SNR. Let me see. Okay. Right. So if you are on a two-man project, there is no way that one of the members on the project is going to be doing everything and it will be okay. It just won't. Sooner or later, it's going to crash. That's the same thing with relationships. And that is the thing about being nice. Please change that word. The relationship is not for one person. It's a back and forth. Yes, it's like playing table tennis. It goes this way, you hit it, the other person hits back. It must be like that. If it's not like that, it is an unhealthy relationship, and sooner or later it's going to crash. And again, let me bring the principles of life and the principles of, for those who are Christians, the principles of the God that you claim that you worship. What do you know about that? It says, love your neighbor as yourself. Principles of nature and principles of life. You will reap what you sow. So you find sometimes that people are in relationships and they're giving, and the other person is not giving back. Naturally, resentment begins to build. Some people feel it's okay, I won't say anything, let me just be quiet because I don't want to do anything to upset the relationship. At least I have this person. But you see, you have that person and you don't feel happy. But you're afraid to talk because you're afraid that if you talk, you're going to upset the relationship, you're going to rock the boat, and then things will stop. Then that is it, you're being in bondage. You are better off without that relationship. Because relationships are give and take. If you end up going forward with this person and you get married, what happens? It means that if you fall sick tomorrow, this person has probably the person is just there to use you. So if you fall sick tomorrow, this person isn't going to be there for you. So all of a sudden, everything you've done, all that you've put in, all your efforts, maybe you've even signed them on as your next of kin, they're the ones who get hold of this and that if anything happens to you, all that will still be there, but now you are left on your own. If people are coming for you, because haven't you heard about some women or who were actually the ones who, say for instance, the story of Samson and Delilah, those things happen in real life. There's a politician in Nigeria that this thing happened to. She was the one who let the assassins in to come and finish off her husband. And they actually had an escape thing in the home, so that nobody would have known if he had if he had tried to escape through that way. Nobody would have known. In fact, he tried to escape through that way. I don't remember the name of this politician now. That's made some decades ago. He was escaping through that route, but it was his wife who already let them know that this is how they can find this man. So don't come back and start talking about the betrayal when you saw the signs all the time. Don't be doing that. Don't stay in a relationship that you know for you. Wondering, I think these glasses are making me look old. And now I'm putting it on the tip of my nose, making me look even older. But I cannot show you my eyes. Yeah, so stop creating what you know is not good for you. Unhealthy relationships. If you find it difficult to know where to draw the line, if you just want to be black and white, there's one thing to keep in mind. Just keep in mind, do as you will be done by. And the fundamental law of nature and of Christianity, if you're a Christian, and I'm almost certain that it will be the same for other religions or most other religions, is treat other people as you would like to be treated. And so therefore the same thing applies for you and to you. Other people need to treat you the way they would like to be treated. So you can't just be there doing. And in fact, you know what? It actually creates disrespect. It does create disrespect. The thing is, we cannot think like children where we think that as long as I keeping quiet and allowing, this person is eventually going to know that I care about them, and that's why I allow these things to happen. Nope, Fabu, it's not going to work like that. All that we're going to succeed in doing is making them see us as people that cannot be respected. And if I cannot respect you, we're not going to have a smooth relationship. I will always be complaining about things. Even your best efforts, I will be complaining about them. I will continue watching and waiting for you to keep doing and doing and doing. You'll exhaust yourself. It is a never ending story of exhaustion. So don't do it. So be nice by all means. Please be nice. Please be a nice guy. Women love nice guys. But what happens is that the moment that you see somebody, you see her misstepping, doing anything wrong, you have to call her on her BS. Tell her this is not acceptable. You cannot treat me like this. And another thing that I want us to keep in mind is maybe part of the problem sometimes is knowing how to care for other people and caring about other people. Things that you will not allow to happen to someone else. So oftentimes, many times, try to switch shoes with other people. Switch shoes with yourself. Put your own child or someone that you love in your shoes. Would you allow someone to treat someone that you love this way, the way that this woman is treating you? If you know that you will not be happy to be watching this woman treat, unless you are incapable of love, you don't love anyone. But if you know that you're not going to be happy watching someone that you love being treated this way, what difference does it make then? Or rather, why should it be different when it comes to you? If you won't like to watch someone treating someone this way, then therefore, if a woman is treating you this way, you should also step up and tell her this will not be accepted. Right? So that is talking about nice guys. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about nice guys? Step up, step up, step up. If you want that relationship to work and to last, be nice by all means, but speak up. Do not be disrespected. And let me tell you something. If a woman recognizes that she's disrespecting you and you're allowing it to go, you are in deeper trouble because it just continues to grow. It continues to grow. Never mind that I'm saying woman now. This is just the simple rule of nature. Any human being who recognizes that you are allowing them to keep on disrespecting you, even if they didn't want to do it, subconsciously and unconsciously, they are going to have to continue upping the disrespect. They have to. They can't help it because in life, we're in a hurry to deal with things. We have challenges, things will be coming up. We're not going to slow down and start thinking about someone who hasn't given me reason to think about them. I've never had to be cautionary when I'm dealing with you. So when I'm in a hurry to deal with things in life, there is no reason why I will take my time to think, Daniel isn't going to like this. because already he's someone that I'm used to not worrying about, because no matter what I do, I'm able to get on. It doesn't matter. So you see, without even being conscious of it, you have handed them a license. Please continue to disrespect me. And that is exactly what you're going to be getting. So it's not because you're a nice person. It is because you don't stand up for yourself. Automatically, we cannot respect you. Imagine being the manager in an office, and you allow people to do as they please without making them face repercussions. So you see, the point is not that you're going to stop being good to the person. The point is that they need to face the repercussions for what they do. They cannot be disrespecting you and then you allow them to walk away free. No, we can't do that. And vice versa for women. Everything that I say here, even though I'm focusing on men, it's the same for anybody. One of the things that we must keep in mind is that we have been conditioned to think of ourselves as men like this, women like this. It's a lie. It is a lie. Most of those things are a lie. So I like to talk about social conditioning. If you really pay attention, you will know that a lot of those things are in place just to give us a guide, so that people who cannot take the time to reason, at least they have a guide that they can follow and have a somewhat seamless um, relationship and a way to move through life. But ultimately, we all require and desire the same things. For instance, when they say that men love respect, men have to be respected, it's the same thing. It's no different at all for women. It's the same thing. So let's stop allowing these things to give us wrong ideas. Everybody wants love, everybody wants respect. Men do not want love less than women. It's not true. It's not true. And besides, you cannot respect a man. I mean, you cannot respect a man and be in a relationship with him and not love him. That respect leads to that love, or vice versa. Where you have one without the other, you still will have a hard time in the relationship. Or you cannot have a woman that you say that you cannot have a woman that you love and not have respect for her. The way that you treat her. I mean, how can you love someone and not respect them? It's just not possible. Hold on, let me respond to this person and see if uh right. Um right. Let me see if I can hear from another guy. Let's see what he will say about women don't like nice guys. Let me just mute for a moment while I get him, in case he's not even able to speak on this. women don't like nice guys. I am live. I just want you to give us your just give us your quick input. What do you have to say so I can take that for
Women don't like nice guys.
Yes. What do you have to say about that?
That's a very tough one, you know.
Is it?
Truly, I will put it this way: majority of the women don't like nice guys.
Explain.
Because
does it make sense? Does it make sense?
It makes a whole lot of sense. I see it every day.
Okay, explain.
Look, everybody, one thing I have found out in life is that good things come to us naturally. We want good things naturally, right? But bad things are always an anomaly in our lives. And one thing I have found out is that women somehow are drawn to those anomalies.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's reality. They are drawn to those anomalies.
I guess I'm a man. Huh?
And women are the only people, even men don't do it. Women are the only people that can take a risk without giving it a second thought. Women take risks that even men, they don't even think about it.
What are we talking about here, please?
Yes, we're talking about women like bad guys, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so women like taking risks. They like adventure.
Wow.
Right? And they see the bad guys as the ones that will give them that adventure. The adventure could be physical. It could be spiritual.
Huh? What are we talking about?
Yes, I'm being frank with you.
Could be spiritual.
Why do you think women get drawn? Why do you think that you see so many women in churches where they say spiritual things happen?
Oh, okay.
You see more women there. They want to experience it. They want to see it. You know, men are very, very cautious. They are like, okay, you know what? I don't want this. I don't even want to see it. Yeah. Men tend to run away. Women, they like to dare themselves.
Women are curious, eh?
I won't put it that they are curious. Curious is an understatement, actually. That's the way I see it. Women. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This you know what?
Look at the case of this Equatorial Guinea man, right?
Okay.
The guy said some of the women came recommended. They came recommended. They don't know this guy. Another woman recommended it. And no matter how freaky it is, they want to go try it out. They want to go see it. Right? And the guy seems to be a bad guy, so why wouldn't they want to do that?
Wow.
So they like women swing from one extreme to another extreme. Women are never at the center. They swing from one extreme.
So I need to ask you, are you saying women generally, or you're saying more women than not? Most women? Is this what you're saying?
When I started, I said most women are drawn to bad guys. Okay. Not all of them, but most. If you want me to put a number, I will tell you about 85 to 90%.
Okay, so what we're saying therefore is that it also sounds like we're saying that women are unhealthy creatures because they have to be mentally unhealthy to be drawn to bad things and risky things. Please, I beg, could you help me move the light?
No, I would say that they are unhealthy. Just that they try to, they want to experiment.
Oh, actually, no, back like this, and then
I know a friend of mine.
No, turn the head.
Right?
Okay. Yes.
I know a friend of mine.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, is it me you're saying thank you or someone
No, not
else?
you.
Okay.
Mm.
I have a friend of mine, something he has told me, or something he and his wife told me.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a pastor,
Mm.
right? He is a pastor.
Mm.
Something he has told me, we're talking generally as couples, not as man of God or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before saying this, how many people are online? Are they hearing me?
They will hear you because it's live. No one is there right now, but they will eventually see it and hear it.
Okay.
Mm.
I have a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
The guy used to be a very bad guy, okay?
Yeah.
He did some crazy things, right?
Mm.
The wife made a comment. The guy is now repentant, the man of God, doing his thing.
So he
But guess
says.
what?
Yeah.
In the process of love making,
Mm-hmm.
the wife wants to smoke weed.
Okay.
She has never tried weed before.
Who has never tried weed?
The wife,
Okay.
she wants to smoke weed.
All right.
Do you know what it means for someone that has never even smoked a pepper? Back in the days, we wrap pepper and light it up and smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days when we don't have money, we wrap Lipton bag.
You don't mean it. I never heard. Really? I had no idea. You people were living a different life. I'm just
Okay.
hearing that. Okay.
So we wrap it and then we smoke it, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Somebody that has never tried that wants to go and try weed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that is swinging from one extreme to another extreme?
Okay. So she doesn't represent all women now, or most women. She just represents herself.
Remember, this is a pastor's wife.
Yes. The same way that I tell people that marrying a virgin is no guarantee of anything. Yeah.
But you know that if you are to say who has smoked weed before in a church, pastor's wife will be one of the least people on your mind.
No, that's the wrong way to look at things.
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrongly, but the way I look at it is that women,
I understand what you're saying.
They can swing from one end of the chart to the other end of the chart.
You've just opened something
swing
else.
Back to where they are.
You've opened something else in my mind now. I must add it to today's conversation because it just reminded me of something. Do you know what I say to people? A lot of people who talk about marrying virgins, one of their reasons is that way that they can be sure that this lady, because she's never been with any other person, then she's likely to remain that way. Unfortunately, it all boils down to the personality of the person. The fact that she was a virgin there could be so many reasons for it. Now that you marry her as a virgin, that could actually be the very reason why she's now going to, after you've now shown her what it is, she's now going to be looking for other people. So we must come to take people for who they are and stop thinking in general terms. That's one of the things that I'd like all of us to start doing. Take the person and understand the person.
When you check the infidelity in marriages, okay? When you check it properly, you find out that men that marry virgins most often tend to cheat on those women.
That's
tend
also
to cheat on those women, right?
So yeah, that's also a possibility, yes.
So look, there is nothing as good as experience.
That makes a lot of sense. I can't argue with that. That also makes a lot of sense.
So it's
unfortunately. Yeah, no, because if you want to talk about it, You can see a lot of logic.
That is the reality we live in.
Yeah, if you want to talk about it, there's a lot of logic to it. It makes a lot of common sense, actually. But then there's a way that you will talk about it. We'll also bring out points on the other side where you will see. So at the end of the day, it boils down to who are we dealing with? Who are the people involved in this thing? You know, because you know that there's also a possibility that a man who has been experienced, who now marries a virgin, might find out that that lady might show him things that might make him feel like, oh, there's a lot to explore here. And therefore, he's not even... Huh?
I doubt it. It doesn't work.
Okay. That's okay.
It doesn't work.
That's okay.
The only thing I can deduce from that is if I look at it the other way around, right? You know, when you've never tried sweets,
all right,
candies, right? And they give you a candy,
ice cream.
Or you never tried an ice cream, they give you an ice cream. And then you find out that that ice cream or candy is readily available anytime you want it. Irrespective of who is giving it or who kept it there. Then the person, if you, the other spouse, is not keeping up with, because everybody has different libidos, right?
We're talking about the virgin woman now, right? You're saying that, so if the husband is not keeping up, right?
If the husband is not keeping up, she's going to go outside.
So you've come back to what I said.
No, that's what I mean by, I'm looking at it swinging on from one side to another. I'm looking at it, right?
Yeah, this is life. This is life.
What we are actually looking at is, because you have to look at it in bulk. Majority of those virgins end up being cheated on quite often. And most of them, because of one thing or the other, they are bound to whoever that married them. They don't want to go outside.
Yes, so
but the guy that marries them becomes a free bird.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So he can perch on any tree that he feels like. So it's kind of...
So I'll also put it this way. People are virgins for different reasons. Sometimes it's not even because the person is a good person. You know that too, right? There are so many different reasons, but let's not put everybody in the same box.
No, when we go there, if we zoom in on that one, yes, that's true. Right? Some people are virgins not because they want to be virgins. It might be due to circumstances. Right? And so many other factors. We can narrow down to that and zoom in into it, and we can look at it. But the topic you have right now is, why are women, why do they want bad guys? Bad guys give them the fun, bad guys give them the experiences.
The topic is this: is it true that women don't like nice guys?
Oh, is it true?
Yes, that women don't like nice guys.
That is like false.
It's false, eh?
That is like almost 99% false.
Good. Why? Why do you say that?
Because bad guys give them the experiences that they have never experienced before. And women are the type of humans that they love to experiment. Okay,
I've heard you. So my take on that, I will, after I've finished talking with you, I will go on and talk about what you've said. I'll go on and address it on the live, right? But the bottom line is this: The question is this: is there anybody who is, let's talk about normal people now, not people who are unhealthy upstairs, not people who have had some experiences in the past, maybe by upbringing or one thing or the other. Isn't it the normal thing that most normal people want people to be good to them, people to be nice to them? Is that true or not?
Normally, normally, ideally, yes.
Exactly.
People like who it's good to them.
So the question now is this.
Sorry, can you explain what you mean by good?
You know what it is. So the question really is,
let it not be that.
So people, someone who treats you well, just someone treating you well.
Okay, someone treating you well.
Yes. So,
okay.
So are you saying that women don't like men who treat them well? Is that what you're saying?
No, women like men. Like I said, women like good things.
Good. Right? So what we're saying now is that they like good things, but they also like bad guys in quotes, right?
No, you're talking about, if you're talking about good guys and bad guys, and good things and bad things, they are two different things.
Oh, maybe I didn't even understand you were coming from a different angle. Because the way I see it is this: that you're nice does not mean that you cannot or should not be interesting. You know, there are three things involved here: be nice, don't be uninteresting, and also don't be a pushover. But people think that being nice also means that you should be a pushover, so that when she does things or suggests things that you're not happy with, you keep quiet. They see it as being nice. That is not being nice. That is being a pushover. And there is no human being that's going to respect people.
That's not even being a pushover. That is being
something worse.
No, it's not. There are things that men do to women that they love, that they genuinely love, right? That sometimes you wonder if this guy is
under a spell.
Is under a spell.
But that's the thing. Right? That's the thing. You're a human being.
Women also do the same to men that they love.
Exactly.
Right? It's that makes us human.
No, it makes people dumb. Okay?
No, it doesn't make them dumb.
No, it makes people dumb because in the natural law is that you should love your neighbor as yourself and treat. Once you misstep with that, when you think you are doing the good thing, you are destroying that relationship.
What? No.
Okay, I'll allow you to. Wait, let me hear you.
Actually, when you sit down to think about what you just said, love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you do some stupid things for yourself?
But that it doesn't make any excuse. That's no excuse. So okay,
no,
okay.
I asked you a simple question. Don't you do some stupid things? Like for me, I have bought something that I just feel like, yeah, I want it.
Let's put it this way. We cannot always be 100% right in everything that we do. We're human.
Okay,
we
make
mistakes.
You a question. Yeah. Let me ask you a simple question.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you see anything wrong in a man or a woman
doing what?
That decides to fly his boyfriend or girlfriend from Nigeria to the US or from Nigeria to the UK, just for the fun of it?
Why should there be something wrong with that?
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, yes, no?
No, there is nothing wrong with that if given that if the circumstances, right? If it's not that you're going to put yourself in debt, if it's not that this is someone who has been mistreating you, because when we put all those
debt, people can get debt just to make sure they satisfy what is for the laws they have.
So let's
You just say people can do stupid things for the woman or man that they love.
Excuse me.
Including
can I say something?
Having debt.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I will tell you something, Not because the thing is, when our standards are low, our standards of judgment and taking decisions are low, right? For ourselves, right? That's why I say when people come and start saying they're doing this to me, they're doing this to me, most often it is because your standards are low. That is what it is. Because you just said now. You just said now. Okay. I'm not going to argue.
No, you're making it. No.
I'm not going to argue. It's okay. It's okay.
When people are in love.
Yeah.
Or when somebody loves you.
So you are saying that love amounts to foolishness. That's the bottom line. You believe that love amounts to foolishness.
Love can make you do some stupid things.
I just said it earlier. That's okay. We shouldn't argue about it. What we should just know is this. When you see people complaining, you've got to choose what you want. As you make your bed, you lie on it. Do you understand? So if you choose to do stupid things, you're going to do what? Ask stupid questions. You're going to get what? Stupid answers. It's as simple as that. Nobody's going to come and arrest you for making foolish choices. But we have to agree that it is me and my foolish choices because of my standards in life. That is why I choose this. It's like if I say to you now, nobody can disrespect me and I will remain in the relationship. You cannot say to me, it's a lie. It's a lie. And I'm telling you directly because I have made this choice. Do you understand? So everything is always up to us and our choices. That's what it is. And I am human like you too.
Yes.
And I am not saying now that, oh, I am so perfect and an angel. I'm just saying that all of us have to always lie on the bed that we have made.
Okay, right? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's not a personal question. But
it can be if you like.
If you think that your standard is way up in the sky, then how did you even get to meet that person to start with?
Exactly. That's where it starts. That's the thing.
So that means
your standards are not that high.
That means that irrespective that your standards are way up there.
You are right.
There must be something about that guy that either that you want to experience.
You are right.
Because remember, the question you asked, what led to all these things is, could girls be attracted to bad guys?
No, it is. Is it true that women do not like nice guys?
Whoever that is, anyway. Do not like nice guys or do not like bad guys?
Do not like nice guys.
Oh, that's the question.
Yes.
No, why women do not like nice guys? No, that's false.
It's false because.
False.
Because what? Because human beings like people to be nice to them, right? No? Are you going to talk about people who like being punished? Is that where you want to go?
I don't know. People can be freaky. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're talking about the natural thing. Like for a 2-year-old, let's use a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old. Normal, natural thing. Somebody who hasn't been influenced. Your nature, by nature, people like people to be good to them, isn't it? People like people to be nice to them.
Naturally, that comes naturally. You don't need to think about it. People want, to be treated nicely.
So anyway, the reason why I brought that topic is because I feel unhappy for guys who are naturally nice, who think that they now need to start pretending to not be nice, because that is going to cost them a healthy relationship. Because if you're going to have a relationship with somebody who is healthy, then you're going to have to treat the person well. But if you start acting like someone who is mean, and by that means you keep somebody, it means that you're keeping someone who, even the way they take decisions is not rational. So even the things that they'll be doing in that relationship will now come back to be haunting you people. You get where I'm coming from? Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So the message is, be nice, be your nice self. But the thing is, while you're being nice, what makes people take people for granted is when you are being nice to me, and then I now start taking you for granted. Won't you be upset if you and I are close and you're always being nice to me, and I now notice that I can do anything and say anything because you are being careful not to upset me, because you are being good to me, because you love me? Won't I now start taking you for granted? When I can just insult you anyhow, you ask me to do things, I will ignore everything about you.
No, when this is where I still tell you, right? You just need to explain what you mean by nice, right? Being nice doesn't mean that you should let your guards down.
So that's the mistake that those guys are making. That's the mistake they are making.
Guys are not making that mistake. Both men and women make mistakes. Mistakes can be made by anybody.
Yeah, but now we're talking, this is mistakes men make. So we're focused on guys. I said that earlier, though, that this happens both ways anyway. It happens. We're human beings. We're all subject to the same things naturally, right? So that's some point as well. So I'm saying, for instance, a man who anyway, that's it. The same thing with anybody. When you are in a relationship with someone and they keep on doing things that are disrespectful, and you feel that I will show them how much I care by not making a big deal about it. Do it once, do it twice.
You know why I'm telling you that you should explain what you mean by nice? Is one, let me use a very good example, that a man or a woman smacks the child for being naughty does not mean that he doesn't love that child.
Exactly.
That a man is nice does not mean that he will allow his wife to disrespect him.
Thank you. That is the point. That is the point.
Understand?
Yeah.
Can you hold on? Hold on. Let me answer this call. Can you?
Yeah, please. So I'll continue talking. So that's the thing. You heard him right now. He said it that a man loves his woman or wife doesn't mean that he will allow her to be disrespectful. So he's speaking because he is probably that kind of man who knows that, yes, I love this woman, but I'm going to speak up when something is wrong. But there are men who who feel that keeping quiet is a way of proving that they care. So this is where the problem is. You don't prove anything like love by that, by tolerating people disrespecting you and misbehaving. It just makes it worse. Something crossed my mind while he was talking. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's that. So the other topic that I was going to go on to is about, maybe I should use my earphone so that when he comes back I can hear him. I was going to go on to another topic. Let me look at that. Come on, come on. Misconceptions. Yeah? Men are promiscuous by nature and women aren't. He mentioned that. He actually mentioned it in the course of our conversation. So if you're here, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. I know that there is someone. Okay. Men are promiscuous by nature and women aren't. Now, that is not true. And the reason we want to talk about that is that this is giving people the wrong ideas that they're basing forming relationships on. Because if a man goes into relationships thinking that women, he can just turn his back and close his eyes, and the woman isn't going to step out with other men just because they feel that women are less interested in sex, this is a big lie. Unfortunately, that's another thing with what we've been conditioned to believe, and we have to begin to discount those theories now. Think back, think for a moment. Why did we have female genital mutilation? That's just one thing that I can mention right now. The reason for female genital mutilation is because they use that to curb women being, girls being, girls feeling the sex urge and going out there to explore and to do things. Why? Why did they need to curb that if it wasn't something that was a natural thing? Do you understand? And don't tell yourself any lies. Maybe because it makes you feel comfortable, you want to feel that your woman isn't going to be interested in sex. And so, no matter what you do, you can even keep her in the house for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, many years. Like we've had a conversation on Diaspora Lounge where we talked about women in sexless marriages. A lot of men are under this misconception that women aren't even interested. Sometimes when a marriage has problems and or a couple is quarreling and the woman turns her back and is not engaging with the man, some men have lived like this for, I've seen a man saying that he lived like that for 20 years because his wife just isn't interested. And I feel bad for a man like that because it's very possible that this woman is getting her feel somewhere else and he's just sitting here thinking that she's not interested. I also know that it's possible that that is not the case. It's quite possible that this is one of those women who actually fell into that belief that this is not for women. This is not something that women are interested in or engaging in. And so she's never actually been interested because she feels that naturally it is not a woman thing. There's a possibility that she's not interested. And so she stops and she feels that it's too much of a big deal. Why is this man making such a big deal of it? And so she stops entirely. So she's not doing anything, and the man is also not doing anything. But the point is, why does someone else's life have to stop because someone else is not interested? But if he's fine with it, this is a woman that he married and he gave the vows that they will be together forever till death do them part. If he's fine with it, that's okay. But people need to get over the idea, over the lie that women are not sexual beings. Because based on that, we've seen a lot of men bringing up other people's children, not knowing that these children were other people's children because they never thought, it never crossed their minds that their women would go outside of the marriage. And because of that, a lot of men will leave their wives traveling, doing anything they want, not giving attention to the woman, and they feel that everything will be fine. She's not going to do anything. Unfortunately, I don't know. I want to say that it's unfortunate that I have to use the word that I am happy because I'm not happy about it. But I'm happy that people have begun now to see that, at least with the DNA tests that are showing these things, people have now started to understand that they cannot always trust that woman that they kept at home, because you need to keep your eyes open. You see, it's not only the fact that she steps out that is an issue. If she's stepping out that way, a lot of things can go wrong. She has access to this man. She can do this man harm so that she can lay her hands on their property, their assets. She can do this man harm so that he can get out of her way and she'll be free to do whatever she wants. So let's begin to look at ourselves, as I said again in the beginning, let's look at ourselves as just human beings. What you want for yourself, the other person also deserves those things. So don't be thinking that you can live your life without thinking about the other person in this way, that they also need these things that you need. No. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm not saying it in the way of...
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Right. So I am on to the topic of men are promiscuous by nature and women aren't. I don't know if you want to leave. What? What did you say?
Can you say that again?
I said right now I am dealing with the topic of men are promiscuous by nature and women are not. It is not true. Is my...
Okay. Can you hold on? Excuse me.
Right. So going forward, I want us to be looking at each other as just human beings. Of course, there is a difference because, as we all have heard, maybe, at least I said it on the last episode, that women are emotional beings and men are more logical beings.
Hello, sorry about
that. Okay, no problem. And I don't want to keep you if it's not convenient for you, you know.
No, that's okay. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm trying to let us know now that men should not leave their women at home, feel that they can travel or leave them for months or years on end, and be so sure that everything is cool, that woman is not stepping out because she's a woman, or because by nature women are not asexual beings. That's a fallacy. And if you're doing that, you may just find yourself in trouble, not knowing that you've exposed your relationship to harm. So let's be conscious of that, because whatever it is that you think you are interested in, the other person is also a human being, and most likely they're also interested in those things, and they need those needs satisfied. So even if you're away, you have to be away for work or for whatever, don't take it for granted. Talk to this person in a way that they know that you care about them. You also care and know that this is an issue for both of you, not just you, that they also matter, right? Because women are seriously asexual beings. Of course, there are those who are not, because they fell into the belief that societal conditioning placed out there. They fell into the belief that this is not for us, and so they've never been interested in it. There are those women as well. But men should not make the judgment that this is what it is for most women, because you may be dealing with the one that isn't that way, and then you may catch you unawares, and you won't know that a lot of things are happening right there under your nose. You know?
Can you reframe this question the other way around?
The other way around, women can also be, not exactly the other way around, but I can say that women can also be just as sexual as men. Let me put it that way.
Why I want you to change it the other way is for the fact that we live in a different world right now, that the wife could be the one that would be very far away, or be the one that would be traveling, and the man would be at home. So are you also saying that the woman shouldn't leave the husband at home for too long or by himself?
So I would say that I just want us to be conscious of the fact that both parties equally need this thing by nature, right? So in our arrangements, let's not take it for granted that this woman who have left at home or this woman who is leaving home, that everything is just intact the way that I think, simply because we're thinking that she doesn't need it as much as a man. So what it means is that we now have to be creative and sensible about this aspect of our relationship when we're apart, right? We have to take into cognizance that we cannot just feel that this person is okay without it. So that in our conversations, we also talk about the challenges that we're facing in that area when we're apart, you know, or even when we're doing it, is everybody happy and satisfied, right? Because with it, mm,
yeah, go ahead. Listen.
yeah, I was just saying that if because with the thinking that we've had all these years, the fact that people,
No.
all right, where did I stop? I'd like to hear what he wants to say about that. So now I've passed that message, and the reason this came up is funny enough. Last week I also talked about it.
Hello, sorry.
Yes.
Like my pocket bag.
Okay, all right, no problem. Yeah, so what did you want to say about that?
Oh, the thing is, anybody that's having that idea, it's needs to check himself out, because nobody should have that idea that if you leave the other partner, the other spouse or partner, that they are bound to remain the same until you come back. Right? It's naturally is not normal. Naturally. Right? But circumstances in life has made it to be so. Right? But the two of them should agree on some factor, on some terms.
Exactly.
For them to, because this has to be a mutual agreement. Even that mutual agreement could be broken along the line, right? Because no matter the agreement you have, you also need to, create that allowance that something might happen along the way. You may or may not be aware of it, right? You may or may not be aware of it, but it's bound to happen. And when you find out that it happened, are you going to blame the other partner? Because, and we need to explain what is too far or too long.
Okay.
Right? Which is something that it is specific to partners. Right? What is too long for one partner might be too short for another partner. Or it might also be too long for that same partner. Nobody knows. But two of them need to understand each other. They need to explain. They need to talk to each other so that they can move along. But if we continue to do it the same way our forefathers, our grandparents have been doing, that the man should be the one talking, the woman should shut up, then you're bound to train other people's kids.
Exactly, because some people will feel that a woman who is even talking about this, what kind of, she's a wayward woman. So one thing came up. Someone was telling me that the advice is that a man should leave the woman at home if he's relocating, right? Leave her at home if he's relocating, because by the time he brings her here, she's going to now, she may be the type that will turn against him and start using the law against him. But I said, but did you consider that she may be at home? You leave her at home there. What do you think she's doing there? Have you considered whether she's okay to live like that by herself, or whether she'll now be entertaining different men while you are?
You should even consider.
Yeah.
There are men that pretty much import or bring their families overseas.
Yes.
While they stay back home.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Same thing is applicable, right?
Same thing, yes.
Same thing is applicable. So that discussion is bound to happen.
Yeah.
All right? People need to talk about it.
No, you know what I find funny? Unfortunately, I'm using the word funny. The men who feel like, okay, I am going to stay home and the woman and the children will be abroad, right? I'm not coming here. And he feels free that he's doing everything he wants to do at home. The woman that is abroad here now, he doesn't consider that, because of that mindset that women are not really that way. They don't consider that you don't even know the woman that you're dealing with. Forget about what you thought all these years. That woman may not be what you're thinking. She's a human being and she has needs. And as she's here and you're back home, she can be having a free for all here. So these are conversations.
What is applicable here is also applicable
exactly
back home. Right?
Exactly.
Some of the people that the Equatorial Guinea man ravished in his videos, some of them, their husbands were abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some of them, their husbands were abroad. And they only found out that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is something that they just have to, like I said, husbands should be able to discuss. Husbands should be able to discuss with each other.
Let's just bring this thing to the table and know that this is a conversation this is something of importance for everybody, and stop thinking that it belongs to one gender. That's my point.
Can you hold on? Let me make a phone call, please.
All right.
Okay. So my boy, I'm coming to.
Yeah, so let's stop thinking that this belongs to one gender. Otherwise, you're going to be eating food that you don't even know where it was cooked. So I'm going to go on to, when he comes back, I would allow him to talk about when a woman seems to not be interested. Because when, oh, you're here? Okay, so you know what I want you to address? Can you, what do you think about this? You see a couple and the man says to you that his wife is not even interested in this thing. For the past 8 weeks, nothing has happened. She's not interested. But you know how women are, and even my friends have the same problem. Women are just not interested in this. What would you say? Because for me, I want such.
Can I call you back?
Yes, call me back. So for me, I want us to not to be. We have to be cautious. We have to. Let me caution us here. When you have a situation like that, I think I already talked about it earlier. So I just wanted to hear a man's perspective. When you have a situation like that, also find out, try to get to the bottom of what is happening here, because there's always a possibility that maybe this woman just isn't interested in you in physically. Now, what will be the reason? Don't assume that she's just not interested because it's happening to you and it's happening to your friend down the road and it's happening to your friend over there on that side. It's happening to your friend back home. Don't assume that, okay, because of this, I can now draw the general consensus that women are not interested. Because for each of these people, it could be a different reason. And it may not at all be that they're not interested. It could be that they're not interested in that with their husbands for one reason or the other. It could be because of the way the man treats her. There are things that he's not doing that make her feel comfortable. It could be that she doesn't even have confidence in herself with this particular man. Maybe she feels that she's not exactly what makes this man happy. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. So very possibly, just a second, please. Oh gosh, just a second, please. Let me just be sure that this live is still. Come on. Sorry for that delay. Okay. Ah. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Sorry for the delay. I just want to be sure that the live is all right. Yeah. So um it could be that she's not comfortable with this particular man, with the husband. Yes, even though you're married, some wives are not comfortable with their husbands because they've noticed. I've actually got questions like that. They've noticed that the husband seems to be more interested in someone or in people who look a way that is very different from the way she looks. So internally, she's taken it that this man isn't really interested in me. And so the less I expose myself, or he doesn't find me attractive. It could be that she feels that the man isn't caring enough. And because of that, she doesn't feel emotionally tuned in to this man. It could be that she isn't even interested in this man, but she got into that marriage for other things that she needed to be fulfilled. Could be to have children, could be any other reason. So we need to stop believing that just because somebody married us, so we need to deal with the person in front of us directly. Find out the reason. It could be that she's having a relationship or relationships with another man or other men. And you don't want to remain in that place thinking that she's just not interested. Meanwhile, she's going out and bringing other people's children home, or she's going to bring you a disease, or she's going to expose you to, because she doesn't even care about you, you could be in danger. So take the time to watch this woman and analyze her. Watch her very closely. Actually, start a conversation with her, because if it's something that she can tell you, then you are closer to getting the answer to what is going on with you. You're closer to, if she will actually open her mouth and be honest and tell you what it is. If it is one of those things where she doesn't feel comfortable with you, or she doesn't feel emotionally tuned in because of something that you're doing that makes her feel that you're not caring enough. If it's any of those things, then you can actually begin to solve it. Or you can even get a third party to talk you guys through the problems that you're having that make her not feel tuned in. It could be that maybe the man has an odor or something that she can't stand. Maybe something to do with hygiene. Those are things that you can work on. But if you don't have this conversation and if you don't observe her, if you just assume, unless you're happy to just assume and keep on living like that, maybe getting your satisfaction outside of your home, which of course is not recommendable because you still cannot have peace that way. It's best for us to figure out what our problems are and deal with them head on. Again, I always recommend that we don't deal with these things by fighting. We don't deal with them by becoming aggressive or antagonistic. We deal with them by having conversations so that if we can resolve them, we resolve them. If it's something that we really cannot resolve amicably, then we have to now make a huge decision. Do we want to continue living like this? We know we're living a farce, but at least we are content like that, both of us. Or do we actually want to live a real life where we will find real happiness? Because some marriages are mistakes. We can't get past that. It's a fact. So just because I marry this person doesn't mean that I must now be subjected to a lifetime sentence of staying stuck in that. Of course, there are also many complexities that come out of separations, because sometimes it creates difficulties for the children, because sometimes the partners are going to marry other people, going on to marry other people. And with that is the choice that you're making. Are you going to be rational enough to make the right choice to marry someone who, when they come into your life, will allow your children's or your child's life to still be on the right trajectory, on the right path? Or are they going to come and disrupt the children's lives because they won't allow you to give care to the children, or they're going to now be a, a disruptive element in the life or lives of the children? So there are other things that is the reason why separations and divorce is bad, because of the aftermath, not the divorce and the separation itself. Because sometimes the people who create marriages create them when the minds are not yet mature enough to take in the true facts that should be considered in creating a marriage. And when you create a marriage on wrong foundations, the cracks will be there. And when the cracks are there, then the marriage is fraught with problems. And some of these problems, you cannot resolve them. Not every problem is resolvable, because sometimes people have taken that decision to get into that marriage for the wrong reasons. And those things are not things that can be resolved in that marriage. So sometimes the marriage actually needs to be broken. And that is the reason why I'm having this conversation, so that we're aware of these things. That somebody might say, you cannot make it foolproof. Yes, how many things can you make foolproof? Even the life that you're living, you can't make foolproof. Because just stepping out, some people can be sitting in a building and a car will run into that building, or step out in the street and right then a car is run off the road and running off onto that person. So nothing is completely foolproof. That is life. But for us to make informed decisions, that's why we have these conversations, so that the things that we're not aware of, because it's not everything that we're exposed to. In our path in life, in our experiences, there are things that we're not conscious of. We may never have any brush with them, so we don't know about them. But having these conversations brings things to our mind that we ordinarily would may never have thought about, right? So that's why the conversations are essential. So the things to take note, to take home from here are: women are not a sexual beings. So get that out of your mind. Check the woman that you're dealing with and find out who she really is. Do it by conversation, by observation, and let your intuitions also guide you. If you see something, understand what you're seeing and don't lie to yourself about what you're seeing. Because by this, men have married women who were not interested in them even at all as a person. I told you last week about a man who married a woman who told him in advance that he is not going to touch her boobs. So that wasn't the only thing. It wasn't a one-time thing that she said to him. There are so many things that this same woman said and did with and to this man that would have been enough for him to know that this woman is not my wife. But he ignored all those things. See, that's the thing. Let's not be lying to ourselves. Let's be honest with what we're observing. And if you're not sure, have a conversation. And even when you have a conversation, if the words don't tally with the actions, then you've got your answer. Let's not be falling into those things where we just want to believe what we want to believe. Unfortunately, at the time that people are getting married, people are still young. And even when they see things that they know are are enough for them to step back and not create this marriage, people still go ahead to do these things because they're just unable to see that far. They think that wishful thinking, hoping, or praying is going to make the problems that we're seeing today go away and eventually resolve themselves. That's not impossible. It happens sometimes, but it makes little sense that right now you are seeing that you're going to cook jollof rice and you only have red Colgate toothpaste. You don't even have tomato paste. And you're hoping that somehow the red Colgate toothpaste will turn to tomato paste. You already know with the ingredients that you have that what you're trying to cook isn't going to work. But you want to go because you are hoping, you are being positive, and you are praying. I want to remind you that God does not answer those kinds of prayers. And how do I know? It's not that I think that He doesn't answer those kinds of prayers. He most definitely does not answer those kinds of prayers. For instance, for those of us who go into relationships where there was a lady, this time it's a woman. Let me give this example. She was going out with a guy who she would always see different items in his house, ladies' handbags, shoes, and things like that. On this occasion, he traveled and he came back and he had a lot of items, feminine items. And she asked him, who do these things belong to? And he told her, you have no right to ask me those kinds of questions. Do you know those same type of things happen with the other way around? When a woman is being funny with her phone and the guy is asking her, what are you always doing with this phone, with these conversations, with these calls that you are always stepping away to answer and things like that? And she'll be like, you cannot be questioning who I'm talking to on my phone. Or he might even say, who is this person and who is that person? I'm always seeing these messages, I'm always seeing this guy. Should say, are you spying on me? You cannot. So you see, when you are seeing something directly and you still lie to yourself. So let me just continue with the story of that woman. So the the girl. So the guy came back from a trip. This was in Nigeria, and he had feminine items in his luggage. And when she asked him, who do these things belong to? Who do these things? Who are you buying these things for? His answer was, don't ask me those types of questions. You have no right to be questioning me. And then when they were in the car driving somewhere, she asked him again. And he said, if you ask me that again, I'm going to drop you off right here in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere, because you have no right. And she said, of course I have a right to ask because I'm your girlfriend. Why shouldn't I ask who you're buying things for? And he stopped the car right there and told her to get out of the car. This is a true story. The person that it happened to told me and a number of other people about it. And when she was telling this story, she was asking, what should I do? What should I do? Should I go and I haven't spoken to him in how many days? Should I go and beg him? So how do we, as she was hoping to marry that guy, she wanted to marry that guy. So why do we do things like that? And then you do that, and then you marry the guy, and then you start becoming a woman who is always praying. You are praying that, oh, God should make your husband love you. God should make your husband faithful. God cannot answer those prayers. If anything changes there, it changed because of whatever reason, not because God is now having pity on you because you got yourself into a difficult situation. It changed for other reasons. And what if that doesn't happen? So you are already seeing the handwriting on the wall, but because you want what you want, it's the same word of God that tells us that our yes should be our yes and our no should be our no. The same word of God tells us that we should test every spirit. This one didn't even need to be tested. Things are obvious there. Or the woman who is on her phone and you can see what is happening and you're asking questions. You don't even need to test anything. It's obvious. You don't even need to ask her anything. You don't need to depend on the answer she gives you because she could even lie to you. She could just tell you, oh, it's my boss. She could just tell you anything. She could tell you, it's my friend who's having problems. She could tell you anything at all. There's some things that you don't need to ask anything. They are right there. You know the answer. I am just saying, let's stop deluding ourselves. Let's stop doing things on hoping for the best. Hoping for the best, you're going to get the best you can in that bad situation. That's the best that you're going to get. The best is not going to be a change in what is going to happen because you've already created this bed. You have to lie on it. That's like what I was telling him earlier. As you make your bed, you lie on it. Nobody says that. So everything always boils down to our standards. What are your standards? The higher your standards are, the less problems you're going to create for yourself. And that's why at the end of the day, it's really not them doing something to me. It starts with our standards and what we think of ourselves in our hearts. What do you, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the way that you're seeing yourself as someone who is going to accept somebody who is doing this and doing that, that is the person that you are, and that is the person that you live. So we need to watch what we think of ourselves. Watch our standards. If your standards are low, you're going to get a low standard relationship. It will be hard from time to time because there's so much that you like about that person, that you admire about that person, and you want to keep that person for yourself. But you see, a person who is not yours is not yours. Is not yours. This is when it is true when they say, if you really love something, let it go and be free. And if it is yours, it will come back to you. Because you see these people that behave in these ways that we can already feel and see that they are not ours. The worst thing that we can do is struggle to hold on to them. Because we're now going against that thing that says if you love something, set it free, and if it's yours, it will come back to you. Because I tell you for a fact, when you struggle to hold on to something that is showing you that it's not for you, that thing already knows I am not presenting in the way that this person is happy with. That thing knows. So when you are struggling to hold on to it, the thing has no, is the person. The person has no choice, no reason to change because you are already accepting them even as bad as they are presenting. So you give them no reason to change. But you see, when you let them go, when you leave them, they will go away and know that there is no way that I can be with this person unless I change what I am presenting to them. And when they've gone away and they've thought about it, they know the truth to themselves that this is where I am safe. Then they can have a new and fresh appreciation for you so that if at all they're going to come back, they won't always come back because still maybe there is something that is missing that they want that they cannot find with us. So let's just come to grasps with that. So now, if at all they now come back on their own, then they are coming back knowing that they are ready to present properly. And when they come, a person who comes willingly by themselves and surrenders themselves to something is a more amiable and cooperative partner than the one that you were dragging, kicking, and screaming, who knew that you were just putting up with their bad behavior and now they're never going to give you the right behavior. I've kind of moved from the things I was discussing to enter another thing about making choices, making the right choices. But I think it's all in line. It's good. Let me see if there is anything that I haven't thought about that I should have thought about on this. Men are promiscuous by nature, women aren't. Oh, we thought about that. So, oh no, it's not. Is it promiscuous? Polygamous. Let me change that. Polygamous. 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 Right. And the importance and value of finances in relationships. I think I will take that off so that I can talk about that some other time because this live has gone on for a while and I don't want it to be too long. So I'm going to stop this. Maybe I'll do an entirely different live on it. Maybe today or tomorrow. I don't think I'll let it go till next weekend. I think I'll do it tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow. Yeah. So I trust that this conversation is helpful. I'm not going to ask, I'm not going to say, I hope that this is helpful to you. I know that this is helpful. And if you take home the lessons that we have talked on today, if you're someone who is not delusional, if you're someone who tells yourself the truth, you will know that these things are just telling you the truth. And the earlier you come to grips with the truth and deal with the truth, take the bull by the horns, face the truth, and don't be deluding yourself, don't lie to yourself, the better for you, the better results you're going to have. Because when you lie to yourself, the results are always going to show tomorrow. Like I told you, everything is about raising your standards. Raise your standards. You hear them talk about the high value man, the high quality man, and you want to be that man. It's not always about what you can offer. It's not always about money. That's why it's important to have this conversation about finances. I will definitely have a conversation probably tomorrow. So let's go back to raising our standards. The higher your standards are, again, I cannot fail to remind you, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You know what? I need to hurry up and end this because I need to run to the washroom. So yeah, to raise your standards. When your standards are high, you're going to have a high standard relationship. That is when you can enjoy a high standard relationship. High standards, high standard relationship, enjoyable relationship. A high standard partner also is what you're going to get. And they will respect you because everybody wants that high value, high quality man. When you are a low quality person and you're accepting, that means you're accepting low quality. No wonder you get a low quality woman. And they behave in low quality ways and you have a low quality relationship. And with that, say thank you to your sister, your auntie, or whatever. Okay? I'm going to end now. And bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thank you for being here.